Welcome to the ITW Sustainability Interview. Now we have 16 questions for our guest today, so let's get started. Question number 1, could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. So my name is Christiana Weisshuhn. I am Strategy and ESG Executive Director at Scala Centers.
And question number 2, why did you choose our industry?
Well, it was not intentional at start. I was offered a job opportunity here at Scala, which was a company that promised to shift the paradigm of Latin America data center industry. And in a world where digitalization is growing a lot and data centers are in the middle of that, I thought that would be a great opportunity. So that's why I decided to jump in, and I'm super happy now.
Fascinating. Could you give us a brief overview, please, of Scala data centers?
Sure. So Scala was founded in 2020 by Digital Bridge to be the leader, sustainable hyperscaler data center in Latin America. And we have now facilities in development in Brazil and other 3 countries in Latin America, which are Chile, Mexico, and Colombia. In Brazil, we have currently an operation of a little bit more than 50 megawatt of IT capacity.
Okay. And why has Scala decided to become a sustainability partner of ITW this year?
Yeah, so sustainability is at the very core of Scala data centers. And we have so many interesting stories, but with concrete results. We don't have only plans, but concrete results to show. And we thought that ITW would be a great opportunity for us to show the world what we are doing, what the results we are achieving here in Latin America.
So how does Scala prioritize sustainability in its business strategy?
Well, as I told you, sustainability is at the very heart of the core of Scala. So since the beginning, we had that DNA of sustainability, and this is so important to us that not only we have the intentions, but also good results and concrete results to show. And that was a result of the strategy that we designed from the beginning. We established an ESG committee with the top leadership of the company, including the CEO of Scala. And we constantly define and review the strategy, the sustainability strategy of the company based on what it's material for us, our business.
So could you describe some of Scala's main sustainability initiatives and what are the differentiators with them?
Sure. So here at Scala, we are super proud of walking the talk, right? So as I mentioned, we have concrete actions, and I will give you some examples of that. So we were the first Latin American data center operator to use only renewable energy coming from renewable sources. So all our data centers operate with 100% renewable energy. We're the first to achieve that goal, that result in Latin America. We were also the first to attain the carbon neutrality, and we in all scopes, not scope 1 and 2, but also scope 3, which is the toughest one to achieve, right? So we are super proud to have a center of excellence in engineering with more than 200 engineers and architects and technicians that study and develop and research and implement solutions to increase the effectiveness of the usage of power and water in our company. So our PUE is the lowest in Latin America, which is the average is about 1.77 or 74. And we are operating with 1.334. And our water usage effectiveness, which is the water that we use per megawatt, is 0. We don't use water to refrigerate our equipment. And what else? Yes, and I think important also to mention that we have also signed the letter of intention of Amasons which is actually a call for action to study and to embrace the possibility of using greener concrete in our installations. Sure. So these are some of the greatest achievements that we have so far regarding sustainability.
Lovely. So what are the challenges to doing all this? What are the challenges to leveraging sustainability in the data center industry?
Well, I would tell you about the industry in general. So what I would highlight is one of the main challenges is for the industry is to have access to energy, especially renewable energy, and in Latin America, especially outside Brazil. So this is one of the main challenges that the industry faces. The other one is how to address Scope 1 emissions, which are the carbon emissions related to the company, the operation of the company. Specifically, for example, how to replace diesel, how to use other fuels to replace diesel, and how to deal with fugitive gases, for example. This is also important to address in Scope 1. Also in Scope 3, which is the chain, the value chain of the company. So how to engage the suppliers in the carbon neutrality mission. So this I would highlight are the main aspects. And also I forgot to mention one, which is the PUE, especially here in Latin America, where we have a more hot weather, right, and humid. So this is this becomes a great challenge for us to reach low PUEs. So these are the main topics that I would tell you that are the main challenges for us here for the Latin American industry in general.
Okay, so you've already mentioned some of the things you're doing, particularly related to green concrete and water saving. So the next question is, how can data centers optimize their resource use to become more sustainable?
Yeah, this what we do, for example, here at Scala, we don't use water to refrigerate the equipment, right? So we use air cooled chillers, and especially in a cold weather, for example, today is a good example here. When the weather is very cold, we can turn off some of the fans and use the external air to refrigerate our equipment. So this is where we call the free cooling solution. So which is being implemented in our new data centers here at Scala data center. So this is another good example of that.
Okay, here's a slight change of direction in question. Is it possible to reconcile robust growth and investment based on sustainability? Can you have both at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Scala data centers is a very good example of that. We have, in these 3 years of existence, we have reached amazing results. We started with 17 megawatts of IT capacity, and now we have 150 megawatts booked. So, especially in large markets such as US, for example, this doesn't seem to be that much. But for example, in Latin America, where the market is around 70, is estimated on around 700 megawatts of capacity. This is something really relevant. So another topic, we have created this Center of Excellence in Engineering, which I mentioned to you before. And we have started also from almost 50 MBs. Now we are more than 700 in just 3 years. And especially if you can imagine that we reached there in the middle of the pandemic. So, and we are doing that, all that, attaining or achieving sustainable results. So I think this is the very good example of us.
That's impressive. Do you use green finance instruments? So green bonds, for example?
Yes, we do. Last year, we have issued a green debenture. It's 2 billion reais, which is about $400 million, which is the biggest ever issued in the segment here in Brazil. And it was the first green bond issued in the country. So we are super proud of that, and all that we have. It was I would say that it was kind of easy to do that because we have already concrete results to show, and that's why we issued the green bond instead of SLBs, which are usually linked to future goals, right? So this is something that we are super proud of too.
So we've talked a lot about the environment and environmental related sustainability, but which other areas of ESG do you prioritize at Scala?
Yeah, so we prioritize education. We believe that not only infrastructure, but education, they are responsible for taking the country to a new level of evolution, right? To really bring progress to society. So we invest really hard in education, and not only now for our own employees, but for the community where we operate. Since our foundation in 2020, we have granted full engineering scholarships for students that have low or not good social or economic conditions. And we have been doing that since 2020. And we believe that not only the scholarship itself, but we also offer them a mentorship here at Scala with an executive of our company. And also we offer a job opportunity. So this is what we call the Megawatt of Opportunity Program. And we expect to reach this year, we expect to reach the 150 scholarships, because this program is tied to the amount of megawatts that we book. If we book 1 megawatt, we will grant 1 scholarship plus a mentorship plus a job opportunity.
That's amazing. We spoke in your answer to the last question about the global talent gap in tech and infrastructure segments. How is Scala addressing this issue? You've already spoke about your mentoring program. So is there some more detail you want to go into on that?
Yeah, that's definitely the answer to that question is this Megawatt of Opportunity Program. As I told you, we expect to reach 150 scholarships this year. So this is what we're doing to address that.
Another question is, how do you at Scala interact with the communities who live around your data centers?
Yeah, this is something very, very important to us, right? So we have a dedicated team to interact and to create bonds with the community where we live. We go there and we talk to them. We map the stakeholders, and this is not a one-time job, right? This is a continuous job where we map these stakeholders and we build this relationship with them. And we also have a channel where they can communication channel operated by a third party where they can go there and put any kind of suggestion or complaint, and this topic will be carefully addressed by our company, right? And we will give the correct answer to that suggestion or to that request for the community. So this is something that we are also super proud of. We understand that we are not only alone there, we have to be there and to live with them and to provide the best we can for them to develop themselves as well. We also have job opportunities, and we incentivize, not only we hire from the community, but we incentivize our suppliers also to hire from that community where we operate.
So you've mentioned a lot in the answer to the last question about being a good neighbour, really, in the places where we are. How do you think in general our industry can better manage its public perception, especially related to sustainability?
Yeah, so I would say that the answer is quite simple, but difficult to execute, right? The company has to have a very robust sustainability program and a dedicated team to achieve that, and all of them. All the rest comes as a consequence, right? So we have a dedicated team, we have the power, we have the effort, we have the will to put that in place, and everything comes as a consequence.
Definitely. So your Scala coming to ITW next week. In one of the cases you're going to be talking about, you're discussing how to grow fast and sustainably. Can you give us a little spoiler about that?
Yeah, sure. So our pre-sales director will present Fast Deploy, which is a proprietary solution designed by our Center of Excellence in Engineering, which I mentioned before. And this solution he will show you how we can develop sustainable data centers in a record time. So why sustainable? Because they use 100% of renewable energy. They have carbon neutrality, and as this is how can I say? We put that in parts. We will grow according to the demand. So we don't have stranded assets, right? So we don't have that carbon emissions, unnecessary carbon emissions there. So, and one other aspect is there, as we grow according to the demand, we also have the opportunity to have the best equipment ever in that solution. So which could definitely embrace the power effectiveness and water effectiveness at that time.
Definitely. And the final question is, how would you summarize Scala's commitment to reducing its carbon footprint?
We are completely committed to carbon neutrality since the beginning, and we will always be. We are studying how we can reduce our scope 1 emissions, the ones that are unavoidable so far. How to, for example, replace the diesel that we use in our backup generators. And we are engaging our suppliers in scope 3. And we will continue to do our best effort in generating good results in terms of power and water effectiveness. We are growing a lot. We will probably going to build more 30 data centers in the next years. So we will do that in a sustainable way, always concerned about the impacts in the environment and in the society.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Christiana, for coming on and telling us about everything that Scala's doing in this area. And we're really looking forward to welcoming you to ITW next week.
Great. Thank you so much, Bill, and see you there.
Thank you.